proprioceptive device, something that you could use to change up from a stable surface to a less stable surface and even to a very unstable surface. So let's start with just your stance. Okay, so let's say we're doing a squat. All right. What's our most stable way to squat? How many feet are on the ground?
2.
Yeah. 2 feet on the ground. Sweet. And then you bring your knees in. No, just kidding. Not. Okay? Yeah, so 2 feet on the ground. All right? So then what do you think? Where do you go from here? How do you make this squat a little bit more challenging?
Go up.
Okay? Yeah. You can start adding movement to it. So complicate it. So you go from simple to more complex. Okay? So how would you change your feet? Your stance. What would be the next level in terms of your stance? You could go very narrow, absolutely. Very wide, absolutely. And split. Yep, a split stance. Okay? Because then you're like, whoa. All right? Start going into a split stance. Okay, then where could you go? Yeah, you could change the position, like plies, different foot positions. Then you go, okay, so now we've gone from 2 legs, very stable. Now we've changed up the width of support, the base of support. Now we've changed the stance a little bit. And now we're going to leave and go onto 1 foot. What else can we do while we're still here? Let's say we're going to be here. What can we do up here to change the intensity or make it more proprioceptive? Nope, we're still on the ground.
Move your head.
Move your head. Okay, move your head or close your eyes. Okay, so let's everyone close. Jut the butt. Remember those cues, and close your eyes. Slow and controlled. Get that butt back. Okay? Did you feel it at all, the difference? A little tiny bit of shakiness. Okay, but we're also, this class would not be the norm, right? Our clients the general population is going to come in and they're going to have more difficulty with that than we do. Okay? All right, so then you go to a single leg. And we might start off just with balancing. Okay, so everyone's single leg. And if you want to test them, here's how you would test. And we're going to talk about that next week. Hands on hips. Let's go ahead, 2 feet. 2 feet first. So if you want to be able to reproduce this test, you want to stick with the same standard every time. Hands on hips. Foot comes up. It's touching the other leg. Okay? And as soon as a hand comes off, legs touch or foot pivots, you're done. All right? So let's test it out. Here we go. All right, ready, set, go. And eyes are open this round. And have your clients look at something maybe on the ground that is stationary. Okay, shake it out. Do both sides. Most people going to be, okay, ready, set, go. Even Steven on both sides? No, most people actually have on this one side that's going to be better than the other. Okay, shake that out. So now, carefully, we could add in maybe eyes closed. So let's try that safely. Safely. Okay, hands on hips. Up. Get stable. And now eyes closed. And back down. This side of the room, keep your eyes open. I want you to watch that side of the room. Okay, so y'all ready? Set, up, and eyes closed. Okay? All right. And now y'all Watch this side. Ready? Ready, set, go, and eyes closed. Wow. Okay, down. Impressive. So you would explain to your person, because your person's probably with their eyes closed is going to be all over the place, right? They're going to be all over the place, potentially. So let them know that that's normal. It's even normal for somebody who's really good at this to feel it in their foot. Okay? You're still going to feel it because that is your body, your autonomic nervous system, like part of the reflexes that we don't have to think about. Okay? It's telling your muscles in your feet and in your leg, I have to make these little tiny adjustments so my person doesn't fall over. Okay? Because if you have poor proprioception, and that could be from sedentary lifestyle, it could be from disease, it could be from injury, you know, they may sprain their ankle or roll their ankle all the time because the system isn't quick enough to right them. Okay? Nobody has to spend a life being a klutz, a self-proclaimed klutz. Okay? You can do a little bit of proprioception work even when you're brushing your teeth. Okay? So, my mom used to hate it when I put my shoes on like that. Oh, flashback childhood. Okay. All right, so now let's go single leg. Now we're still doing kind of a squat. So let's just add in, and you might have to have arms out, and you could have foot back, foot forward, and just a mini squat. Did you know you're activating your quad just as well to build strength and stability, even a mini squat, as you are doing a full squat? You're reaping the benefits still, okay? But what you're also getting is that proprioception that you aren't getting per se with a two-legged squat. Okay? All right. So then we could start adding some proprioceptive devices. So this one is kind of nice. It's a step down, not quite as challenging as the BOSU board. This one just kind of has an unstable surface, but just enough where you can see my foot, right? My foot is working harder than it is on the ground, but I don't feel as unstable as I would on, let's say, that BOSU, okay? So this is a nice option. So you could even do something like this just to kind of get them used to it. You could do hopovers. Okay, you could do something like this, where they're trying to pull their feet out, okay, not let their knees bow. Okay, so there's different, you can be super flexible with how you do this. BOSU can be super challenging. Anybody used the BOSU before? Yeah, super challenging. So you would want to have, a lot of PT clinics have little stands, or they place it next to something to where, or you are physically holding somebody's hand, okay, while they just get used to it. So their first time on the BOSU might be holding on to something over here, holding the PT's hand, and just get used to this, okay? And that might be your first experience with the BOSU. And then as you get more familiar with it, you could start doing, whoopsie, whoopsie, thank you. Still is on record, that's good. Are you there? Are you there? There we go. Okay, so you could just start trying to do something like this. Again, you can do something like that. You could do step offs. All right, so just work your way up different patterns on the Bosu. Let me show you some old school. If you don't have the money to buy these things, which is all of us, probably, or many of us, there's some things that you can make at home. In fact, my next door neighbors, my husband helped them out with some ankle exercises, and the guy, Doug, went out, he went to Home Depot and just made himself some of these. So this is called a wobble board. Has anyone used a wobble board? Okay, yeah, it's also referred to as a BAPS board in PT, in a PT setting. Have you ever used one that's blue and had footprints on it? Yeah, very similar. So this is kind of the the gym version of that. You can buy different bases, and they just screw in and unscrew to make it more and less challenging. So this one, again, you would have somebody who needs some assistance, hold their hand, and you could just do rock back and forth, rock forward and backwards. You could have them work on hips and generate this motion from the hips. Okay? You could have them on their knees, put a little pad there, trying to stabilize here. Okay? Whoa, sweaty knees, do not stay. All right, this is the version that you could go to Home Depot, and if you, it's what, like 2 feet-ish? Go to Home Depot, say, I want to buy this piece of wood, can you cut it for me? And all they'd have to do is make one cut, and they will do that for you, okay? And then you can just put Velcro and get a dowel or a square piece of wood, and you can Velcro, and there's different pieces that you can use. So this one is a square base. So this one is going to be the most stable. And then you have other options. And you can also go to a base like this that is going to work side to side. And then you could work on stability. Okay, and then you could add, then you could start throwing. So you go simple to complex, and y'all are gonna try all this out. You could also add a band around the base. And don't stop recording. No. Oh, it said start recording. We got it all in there?
Yep.
It's annoying. It's just not very practical. Okay, so anyway, you can try that. You get the gist. Oh. Okay, so that is proprioception. Again, the faster that signal goes from the brain to the muscle, and that signal travels back and forth and back and forth, faster than we can think it. Okay? So if we're doing this, tons of proprioception in PT and athletic training, correct? Yeah. Yeah. If you've ever been given exercises to do from an athletic trainer or a CSCS, a strength and conditioning coach, they're going to be working proprioception, because instead of waiting until somebody gets injured, why don't we do it ahead of time? Why don't we do prehab and make everybody as strong as possible in our body's natural defense mechanisms, okay? So that's what's really cool about incorporating proprioception. Oh, another thing is you could be working with suspension systems, okay? And even if you're doing upper body, okay, like an upper body, like a row, you could be, whoa, I gave a little give there. Oh, that's why that feels so weird. Okay, but you could be doing single leg, or you could also put your feet in this. Have you all ever done push-ups with your feet in the suspension? Okay. All right. Let's move on, or let's do this. Oh, so this you can have at home. What else could you use at home to change up the surface. Okay, because you're going to be making home videos, right? Your videos at home. So you might have to be creative and think about what your client might also have at home.
Pillows.
Yeah, pillows. So different thicknesses of cushions and pillows. Absolutely, but with the safety aspect of have something to hold on to. Okay? You can have them brush their teeth, balancing on one leg in the morning, the other leg in the afternoon, and then you ensure that they're doing proprioception and proper oral hygiene. What else could they use at home, maybe? Think about indoors, outdoors.
Use like hardwood versus carpet versus like grass.
Yeah, different surfaces. Absolutely. What about if? Oh, go ahead.
Rocks or bricks or.
Yep, absolutely.
Safe to step on.
Yeah, yeah. Have somebody go if you're doing let's say adding some intensity to somebody's walking program. Have them go walk on gravel, okay, or walk on grass, okay, something like that. Just make sure there's no potholes, those hidden potholes. So, okay, why don't we do this? Oh, I also have these out because you can do a ton of things with a foam roller, not just myofascial work. Okay, we used to do a lot at the PT clinic where I worked. Oh, don't drop the thingy. Okay, so we'd set up here and do bench, flies, okay, so just different things on the foam roller, okay, just to add that back and forth kind of proprioception before putting them, let's say, on a physio ball. So, why don't we do this? Why don't y'all take some time and go around and, ooh boy, I have sanitizing wipes. If you are uncertain about touching stuff, don't touch stuff if you don't want to touch stuff. You can either go and, this is like a smaller version of a Mosu that you can do a lot of stuff with also, and you can use the base, either have a little bit more secure or a little bit more stable and a little bit less stable. These can be really, really, really challenging. What else can you do other than stand on these?
Sit on them or kneel on them.
Yeah, sit on them, kneel on them. Okay? All right, so let's just spend some time and go around and try out some things that maybe you haven't tried before.